Why would she leave you $1,350,000?
I don't understand it. If I had visited her every day, if I had taken her out to a park, if I had cooked meals for her, I could understand this. But I never did anything for her.
Could you have done something that you had forgotten?
No, no way. She lived in Houston, and I lived here. I never had a chance to do anything for her.
Well, are you sure this isn't a dream?
Ow! No, I'm not dreaming, but I will not believe this is happening before all the money is in our bank account. Until then, I won't do anything different. Hey, guess what? Guess what? The money is in our account. I just asked at the bank and they confirmed it.
What money? The inheritance from your aunt? All of it? All the money the lawyer said?
Yes, all of it. Isn't it amazing? What shall we do with it? Of course, we can spend it. We can buy the things we want.
Well, but shouldn't we save it?
Do you remember what we wished for? What we said we would do if we had enough money? Well, now, this is one time in our life that we have enough money. So we can do it. Let's do it. Now we can buy a big house, a Jaguar car, and lots of clothes. So let's buy them. Now we can live the life we have always wanted to live. So let's live it.
Well, should we spend all of the money? Shouldn't we save some of it?
Let's save some and spend some. If we save it all and we don't spend any, then we'll spend the rest of our lives in that dump. I'll drive this piece of junk until we die, and you'll wear those rags that you're wearing now until you're old and gray.
Okay, you're right. Let's save some and let's spend some. Our new life is beginning!
That's right.
It's hard to believe that we have this beautiful limousine now. And we have a chauffeur to drive it.
Yes, isn't it nice? If we didn't have this car, we would still be driving that old van.
And it's hard to believe that we have our big house now, too. It's what I've always dreamed of.
Just think, it's all ours. If we weren't living there, we would still be living in our little house.
And look at our clothes. If we didn't have these clothes, we would still be wearing those old clothes that we used to wear.
That's right.
Let me ask you something. Have you seen this poster before? Likely not in your neighborhood, and even if you did, any self-respecting American would tear it down on sight. But this is the kind of stuff that's plastered all over Chinese towns and villages countrywide. It features children, and it espouses death to America. But the propaganda doesn't stop at the kids. The Chinese soldier is told that the American fighting man, even the American citizen, is no more than rabid dogs that ought to be shot on sight. Down with the imperialists is the battle cry echoing through town squares from Beijing to Hong Kong on a daily basis. You know, when a new enlistee is asked what he fears most about first contact with the enemy, he often cites close quarters combat with such a savage foe. But if the early days of the resource wars taught us anything, it's that we can strike from afar. If we spy an enemy column from miles away, we can nip that in the bud, as is demonstrated by this film here, showing footage of our glorious invasion of Mexico. The outfit? The famed Stryker Battalion. The ordnance you already know. It's no less than a tactical nuke delivered by an AOC-3, standing for Atomic Ordnance Cannon Mark III, just one of the many tools we have in our arsenal to help safeguard our frontline soldiers. And safeguard them we do. Uncle Sam wants you to be confident that when you pick up a rifle in his defense, you have one hell of a support network at your back, ranging from the top brass all the way to the home front. A grateful nation. That very notion instills confidence in the average soldier, but that mushroom cloud looks intimidating, doesn't it? That ain't nothing. A little radiation just flavors the air is the common sentiment from the veteran soldier. And besides, we have everything from hazmat suits to power armor to Radaway to offer to our fighting man. So don't let a little mushroom cloud scare you off. If you want to talk about propaganda, the folks making vaults and fallout shelters are the ones that try to scare people off with tales of nuclear radiation making mutants of us all. But we have a duty, and we won't shirk it. Truth is, there's a lot of threats out there in this world. That's why I strongly suggest that you enlist today. Don't think twice, don't do it for your sweetheart, don't do it for your family. Do it for yourself, son. It's the right thing to do. And while we might not always stand on the topographical high ground, we for damn sure occupy the moral high ground. You know, someday, this war is gonna end. Peace will return to this strife-ridden planet, and when that day comes, we'll be able to sort out the cowards from the men, the shirkers from the hero. I know where I'll stand, but what about you? Make a difference. Enlist today.
Live from the Roxy Theater in Central Ohio, it's the Late Stream with Automatic. This is Mr. Strontium along with Hefty Satchel and the OMG Orchestra, inviting you to join us for a spectacular OMG Studios production. Auto's guest tonight is in the title, with musical guests in the description. Now look over there. It's Otto.
Thank you, folks, thank you. And give a big round of applause to Hefty Satchel and the OMG Orchestra. Thank you, boys. Thank you, folks. Oh, good to see you. Just wanted to throw that out there. Thank you, and welcome to yet another installment of the Late Stream. I'm your host, Automatic. On behalf of myself and everybody involved with the program, we want to wish you a very happy new year. Here's hoping that 21 is greater than 20. I mean, I know mathematically it is. In blackjack, it's a sure thing. But I'm not so sure when it comes to years. I try to be optimistic, though. You know, in order to provide content to this monologue, and I know you may still think it's lacking, I decided to look at a 2020 year in review. Don't do it. I strongly suggest you don't do that yourself. It's a complete shit show, folks. We're talking murder hornets, failed impeachment, Soleimani, locusts in Africa, coronavirus, electioneering, natural disasters in China, quarantines, lockdowns, layoffs, police shootings, non-police shootings, riots. Whew. The list goes on and on. I just stopped there for breath. I mean, it's enough to give the algorithm an aneurysm. I swear it, folks. The only good thing about 2020 is it means you don't need glasses. Sorry. Rudimentary joke, but you can count on me for those. How about resolutions, you know? People make their New Year's resolutions. Do you do that? Some of us do. For instance, I have resolved to abandon any interest in playing Cyberpunk 2077. I've been warned, I should say. I've been warned. And then you got Casper up in the booth. He has made a resolution to no longer do anything constructive up there. After all, he did get a Mr. Handy, so we're expecting a much smoother show as a result. I don't know, he's just going to stand up there and drink his coffee, no doubt laced with whiskey. And then you've got Mr. Strontium. Mr. Strontium does not believe in New Year's resolutions. I don't know if it's a religious thing or not, but he doesn't believe in them. So I suppose the only thing Mr. Strontium's going to be giving up is his Mannequin Madness 2020 calendar. Of course, in lieu of his Mannequin Madness 2021 calendar, which is going to be light years ahead of its predecessor. Are you familiar with joint resolutions? And I don't mean from the House and Senate. I mean when two people make a resolution together, or I'll do this if you do that. Well, we got one of those, interestingly enough. We got one of those from President Trump and President-elect Biden. That's right. Trump says he will stop counting ballots if Biden stops printing them. So hopefully they've come to an agreement. No, honestly, folks, Joe Biden, that's not Joe Biden's resolution. Joe Biden's resolution is to finally kick running for office. Yeah, he's not going to do it anymore. Actually, he might do it one more time. Just watch. Meanwhile, everyone thought that the president was going to give up spray tans and hamburgers. But he didn't. You know, that kind of sounds like a Jimmy Buffett song. Spray tans and hamburgers, pickles and a mustard, it couldn't be worse than the... Sorry, folks. Apologies for the outburst. Apologies. Maybe that should be my New Year's resolution. Stop doing that. Stop bursting into song. But it's hard. It's so hard to stop. Let's see. Senator Bernie Sanders has given up all faith in his party. Meanwhile, Elizabeth Warren has actually given up her Senate seat. Did you hear about this? She has a fallback gig. In fact, yeah, she's expressed interest in being the poster child for Land O'Lakes butter. So look for her on the little boxes there. It's exciting times, folks. Meanwhile, Vice President-elect Harris has sworn to stop catching young minority offenders as if they were Pokemon. She said it was a fun game when it lasted, but she's got to move on to other things. Now, what did Nancy Pelosi give up? She's not going to give up spending. We know that. She's got her debit card, and she's got our debit card, and she intends to use it, I should say. You know, in fact, Nancy Pelosi is a lot like a credit card. She's mostly plastic, and she's everywhere you want to be. Just a interesting observation there. How about Vice President Pence? Well, of course, he's going to be giving up the vice president's residence. In fact, he has expressed interest in spending more time with Johnny Quest and his dad, and who can blame him? And for those of you that don't get that joke, let's give him a visual aid, shall we? Yep, there he is. There he is, happier times. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. You know who you gotta love? You gotta love Senator McConnell. Good old Mitch McConnell, America's favorite representative. Well, he has made a resolution himself. He said he is going to give up voting on House bills in the Senate. Yep, not going to do it anymore. Actually, he's already demonstrated that, folks. So I wish Kentucky would give up Mitch McConnell, but I don't see it happening. Now, before I go any further, I think I should give up this monologue. Folks, we have a great show for you tonight. After the break, we're going to sit down and, well, we'll probably stand and talk to Geraldine Fjord of Picket Fences. She's going to look at some of the hottest toys of the holiday season. And then we will have our featured guest, RPJacks. You may know him as Rob, friend of the show and friend indeed. He's going to be joining us. And finally, we'll have a musical number from Farron North. Good stuff, folks. Stay with us. We will be back after these messages.
In order to showcase some of the best-selling toys on the market today, we took our cameras to the beach to show you both the hula hoop and the frisbee. Jesus! Folks, throw them to each other, please. Not the camera. This equipment's expensive. Now, that's the problem with you kids today. You act like nothing's sacred. My God.
Fuck up.
I tell you what, if you've got kids like this, don't get them the hula hoop or the frisbees. Screw them. Let them buy it themselves.
Go fuck yourself, old man.
Yeah, get out of here. Whammo.
Now, a message from the American Association of Psychology.
Oh, Helen, this was how your day began. It is how every day begins for the deviant teen. Mother desperately trying to rouse you from your slumber. This creates resentment in the family, estrangement, and yes, even murderous thoughts. Pansy has trained herself to plan ahead. She coordinates her outfits to best attract adoration. As usual, your neighbours know that you're late again as you hurry by at your regular dog trot. Pansy's morning routine provides time for a pleasant word with her parents and a healthy breakfast. She's already in the classroom when you arrive. You're late again, and it's far worse than a rut. It's a deviant lifestyle. You're increasingly embarrassed by your messy hair, and look at your fingernails. What a disgrace. You never listen, so you couldn't help but interrupt Pansy and the other girls. What a fool you are. You added nothing to that conversation, and at this rate you'll add nothing to society. Pansy will succeed and you will fail. Now you're alone again, in your messy room, considering the murder of Pansy. Killing her isn't the answer. Bettering yourself is. Cry us a river, Helen, but it's a little late for tears. What you need is a good kick in the ass, perhaps one you should have received long, long ago. I blame the parents.
This message was brought to you by the American Association of Psychology and is an excerpt from the book Get Your Shit Together. Find this title and more at your local library today. And remember, be a pansy, not a Helen.
It's the craziest, clumsiest cardio board today. The bongo board craze is sweeping the nation. You can see how it's supposed to work. The real fun is trying to get it to work once you do. Bingo, bimbos, it's bongo. You'll be shedding pounds. You want to work on your figure? This is the best buy on the market, and you don't have to know figures to figure that out. Girls are falling head over heels for the bongo board craze. Clumsy-ass frauds. Find bongo at your local retailer or wherever superfluous shit is sold. Stimpack sold separately.
Thank you, folks, and we're back. Thanks for sticking with us. We have an exciting show lined up for you tonight. But before we get to any of that, let's say hello to our good friend Strawn. Strawn, how are you this evening?
Meh.
Just meh.
Well, it's better than bleh.
It is better than boo. That's for sure. That's pretty bad. I do recall in the last episode you got all of your mannequins back. So are they all settled in or what's the deal?
Most of them are, but Andrew and Kim, I left them outside.
What's wrong with Andrew and Kim?
They spent too much time with the cops. I don't trust them anymore.
Oh wow, you think that the man put the screws to him? Yeah.
I know they did. Andrew will run his mouth to save his life.
How much does Andrew know?
Too damn much.
Strong. Yeah, you got to keep an eye on those two. Other than that, would you kind of say that your mannequins are like toys in a way? You get to dress them and all that business.
No, they're more like giant action figures, and I don't dress them. They just stand there and keep me company and aroused.
Wow. The segue there was toys, of course. Folks, you may know or you may not that Toy Emporium, every year around this time, puts out a list of the top 10 best selling toys throughout the holiday season. And as soon as they put out that article, Picket Fences retaliates with an article of their own. The Picket Fences article talks about the 10 toys, and they really examine those toys. They put them under laboratory tests, all sorts of play testing to find out the dangers and the pleasures involved in said toys. Now, our next guest is the lifestyle editor for Picket Fences. Ladies and gentlemen, without applause, I'd like you to give a warm welcome to Geraldine Ford. Geraldine Ford, let me come over there. Welcome to the program.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is this where we talk?
Yes, this is the actual segment where we communicate with each other.
Fabulous. We're here about toys.
Yes, we are. But before we get to the toys, can I ask you, Geraldine Ford, are you named after the president then?
Which president is that? Anyway, no, I'm not named after whichever one that is. I'm named after a judge.
Okay, a judge. Would I know this judge?
Judge Geraldine.
Geraldine, like Judge Geraldine Ford?
Yes, that's what I'm named after.
Okay,
Her
well,
last name was
I don't.
Ford. Her last name was Ford, and they're like,
Okay.
she's a judge.
I don't know her.
Involved history. Oh.
I confess I don't know her. And who would name their child after Gerald Ford? No offense to the man, but anyways, as lifestyle editor over there at Picket Fences, what does that job description entail?
Well, I am a lifestyle editor.
Right.
So I look at people's lifestyles, and then if they're wrong, I edit them. Doesn't matter to what length I will destroy everybody's life and re-edit them.
Wow, that sounds like a real asset to have around the office.
You're doing the Lord's work.
I would say so. Well, Geraldine, enough about you and me. Let's get down and dirty with these toys. That didn't come out right. Let's talk about this toy over on the right.
You're funny.
Well,
I got that joke.
Oh, good. It was coming right for you. Anyhow, this oh gee whiz. This first toy, this is what is this, a military vehicle or?
It's a tank, Otto.
Oh yes, of course.
This is the ideal M213 Mark II APC. And this tank uses real gunpowder. In the top turret there, you can load it with gunpowder and shoot. And then these two little eyeball, I almost said nipple, these two little eyeball turrets, you can load them with gunpowder and they shoot, so you're having fun with this tank. And then you roll it up to your best friend, and you hit that top turret, and then you shoot him in the face.
Oh my!
There's chemical burns. You could shoot an eye out. And then, after he goes home, you're on the floor and you're driving around. You're protecting yourself from the enemies. And you go up and you jump this huge ramp and you can shoot your friend in the face with those eyeball cannons and
Just a,
knock both of his eyes out.
both
This is a
of his
very,
eyes
very
out.
dangerous toy.
This
It's
could
very
shoot.
fun, but it's very dangerous.
This could shoot both of your eyes out, or the eyes of your favorite best friend
Didn't
simultaneously.
even
Both
think about
eyes.
shooting my own eyes out.
Right.
Oh,
Well, I mean, who would? Any other
you should be
dangers
an
associated?
editorial article on the
Well,
Stardust from Editorials.
a talk
So
show
that
host
there's
can dream.
also, now that you're looking at this side of the tank, there's pinching points. You can
Oh
stick your
yeah.
finger in that window, that shade could close, and pinch your fingers. And I don't even want to talk about the tracks and how many pinch points there are in
Ooh,
those wheels in that track. This is a very fun, dangerous toy.
very fun, but dangerous. Okay, noted. Now, how about this next toy? This looks like a hot glue gun. Is that accurate?
Sugar bombs!
Oh,
Put this out. It's the Galactic Zap-O-Matic.
oh, I
And
like the name.
this is such a rare toy, Otto.
Oh,
You can only get this. Some toys get stuffed in the cereal box.
sure.
Sugar bombs didn't do that. You had to send in box tops from 25 cases of sugar bombs.
So
That's not
25.
25 boxes. It's 250
Oh,
boxes
cases.
of sugar. Sugar. How much sugar you have to eat to get this little
That
guy?
that's a lot of
Will
sugar
kill you.
bombs. Right.
You give yourself diabetes. You give yourself heart attack. You'll
Yes.
gain
Clear
at least 25 pounds.
clear dietary concerns.
Very, very dangerous product. I
And
do
what is
not
it? What does it
suggest
do?
it.
What does it do? Does it shoot milk or what does it blow
It
bubbles?
zaps you.
It zaps you.
Yes, zaps you. Zap, 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 zap. There's so much electricity. Not a lot of amps, but a lot of volts. And you just go
Wow.
up, it's like a taser. You just go
Whoa.
zap. But the fun part about the gun is if you stand 10 feet apart, you can shoot an electricity beam at your friend and it won't hurt. But if you get 9 feet or 8 feet or 7, it will knock them out. It's not a good toy. It's very dangerous.
Wow.
I think the cops used that on me when they arrested me.
Yeah, that makes me think, like, is this less a toy for children and more of like maybe a home defense product?
No, that's basically a pump shotgun.
That's fair. That's fair. The next toy here, this looks like a truck. Am I wrong?
You can't. This is a truck.
Oh,
This
okay,
is
good.
a Coca-Cola truck, and I will tell you that this is one of the toys on this table that don't look dangerous. But it is, because it's covered in lead paint.
Oh,
And once you suck all that lead paint off, you
what?
may have a 4.2% chance of getting lead poisoning.
Wow.
But you
Yeah.
have to
So
suck it all.
yeah, you got to suck all that paint off,
All of
as
it.
people are known to do. Are there any other dangers with this death trap?
Nope.
That's just the lead poisoning. It looks heavy.
Well,
Is it,
if you
is it
want to
heavy?
get into details, if you cut the thing in half
Sure.
and cut it into quarters, cut
Okay.
it into eighths,
What?
and then cut it into sixteenths,
What?
and then cut it into 32nds,
No.
and then cut it into 64th,
But you wouldn't.
sharp metal. You can carve your turkey or your friend's knee.
Whoa.
Very dangerous if you do all that.
That is. So the worry is that kids are going to make shivs out of this if they have the tools to actually cut it down.
Absolutely.
Wow.
What
Wow.
would happen if you threw it at a friend's head or somebody like Otto?
What?
Dwayne, that
It was-
coffee better be ready soon because we got 10 minutes to commercial break.
I'm working on it, sir.
Are we in trouble?
No. You're not in trouble. The only
Anyway,
trouble
Strawn,
we're
it
in
would
is
break
the
his
proximity to
nose.
these toys.
That sounds like a great toy. Here's your coffee, sir.
I'm gonna turn
So,
this mic off, please.
yes, please. Up there in the booth. Oh, bless their hearts. What's this
That
next one
man
here?
sounds like my nephew.
That's not your nephew. That can't be your
He's
nephew.
played with some of these toys, and he's one of the reasons I've written the Dangerous Toy
Oh, because you see,
article.
wow, that is so much backstory. We really appreciate that. What about this? Is this an RC vehicle?
This is the Corvega Cherry Bomb,
Ooh.
and it is very fun, very delightful. But the batteries, they overheat. It looks like a rocket, so people throw it at each other. And then the top is made of glass. So when
Oh
you're
yeah.
driving it around under the Christmas table and you hit a leg, break all the glass, your mama is going to step on that glass when she serves the turkey she
Oh,
cut with your shiv. And that could hurt her.
that
It's a
could.
very dangerous vehicle. It's very pokey. Poke, 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 poke. And then
That's
at work, we call it the cherry bomb.
oh, that's clever. Does it actually have rocket engines in it? Does it have rocket boosters?
Well, you can add the rocket boosters when you get the Child's Pip-Boy pack, which turns it into that RC car we were talking about.
Oh, I see. You
And we
control
have
the
the
car with
different
the
games
Pip-Boy.
here.
Oh, how about that?
Yes.
I see. Tell
And
us
it
more about
comes
that.
with a special rocket booster pack that you can shove right into those back rockets.
That's
So then
horrible,
you got
but
your
okay.
Pip-Boy on, and you can turn it to the left, turn to the right, and then you can also take those front headlights out. If you get many tools and use a lot of precision, you can take those out and throw them at your friend. And then
Wait, you mean kids would disassemble this, take the rockets out, and hurl them
oh,
at
absolutely.
friends?
Well, wouldn't you? That's why
Kids,
this is the
I
dangerous
would.
toy.
kids do the darndest things. Do we need to talk much about the Pip-Boy? I mean, is the Pip-Boy dangerous, or is it just totally irrelevant, like all the
It's
experts
just
say?
kind of useless.
Yeah.
Unless you have a
Well,
cherry bomb.
yeah, that's
Then
right.
it is a fabulous, fabulous thing to have strapped around your wrist so tight it cuts off the circulation.
Yeah, it's kind of heavy, but who needs
So,
waypoints to the post office, and who needs an entire itemized inventory of everything that's in your closet? Actually, on your Pip-Boy, it's strange. Do people just like the Pip-Boy because of the games? Is that why it's being marketed to kids?
well, it doesn't have a word processor.
No. Oh, good
And
call.
you can't use it as a phone. So what would happen if I want to have a garage sale and I can't tell anybody about it? But I could put my pants on and I could go to the post office and I could drive the cherry bomb. It's not
Yeah,
dangerous. It's just a waste of space.
I see. I see. Now, how about this next item? Is this a waste of space? This is the well, it looks like a Thompson machine gun. You're okay. Whoa, okay.
This gun, twirl, twirl. This is a very dangerous gun. This is sold by Ideal Toys. This
Ideal
is the BB
Toys.
Tommy gun, or as we call it, the BB TG SMIG Mark III A.
A.
And
Okay.
yes,
That's catchy.
Yeah, it
there are
is. It
apples.
rolls right off the tongue.
You can shoot a lot of apples with this gun. It holds in that center drum 200 to 300 actual steel BBs. And
Wow.
it has a single shot action, so it could be like,
When you gotta hit all the vitals, yeah.
well, or the apples, which is what
Or
the A
all the
stands for.
apples. That's what I meant to say.
Or you can have semi automatic, or full automatic.
I love that. I love that.
Automatic.
Yes, I love it. Wow.
But this is very dangerous. Well, you can shoot
Does
anything off. You can
does
shoot
the
people's eyes off. You can shoot the nose off. You can shoot their belt buckles off and their toes and anything in between.
shoot him in the
Very dangerous.
gonads? Hit him in the throat. Give him the old. I'm thinking these are movies that. Never mind. So if you got to weigh out the danger and the fun factor, which is stronger with this?
Oh, fun! It
fun.
is so much fun.
More
No,
fun than
no,
dangerous.
It's so dangerous.
And dangerous.
Very dangerous.
So this is a complicated toy.
Don't ask me questions like that.
Okay, well, maybe that is a bit much. Let's move on. Can I try this one out? This is the is this the bongo board or the bonzo
Bongo
board?
board.
Yes,
Bongo,
yes.
bongo, bongo.
Oh,
bongo,
wait a minute.
oh.
Is that the one with the commercial that's da 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 da?
Yes, and
love that
you've seen
song.
it. Yes, and everybody's having fun.
Yeah, all those ladies.
Oh, we're not
on the-
dancing. Okay. Very dangerous. Let me ask you a question.
Sure.
Would you rather break your neck or your hip?
Neck.
Strawn would prefer my neck, but I'm going to say that the neck could lead to paralyzation, so I am going to very wisely, I might add, pick the hip.
It would be both.
Both.
If you rode this toy, if you tried to use this toy, you could break your neck. You could break your hip. You could break your pelvis bone and your collarbone and your tailbone and all the other bones in the body. You have a
Simultaneously. Wow.
0.41% chance of breaking something when
Wow.
you use this toy.
So
Terrible.
this toy breaks
Bongo, bongo,
people.
bongo. Oh,
Great song though. Great commercial, really. All those girls,
Yes.
they just topple all over each other, and
and they're like,
they're giggling and they're
bongo,
just in a
bongo.
big pile. And I'm kind of
Yes,
sometimes I
it's a
like to
big
think
pile at
maybe,
the end.
well, like what if there was an auto in that pile? You know?
I think you'd have a very nice time, but it'd be dangerous.
It would be dangerous, but sometimes the things we do.
I wouldn't suggest that, Otto. You could get your eye poked out by a figure
Yes,
or a
ma'am.
boob, and it
Yes,
would be a terrible thing.
No, you're absolutely right, ma'am.
Is my mic live?
Yes, and I apologize. That was that's a weird, creepy road I was going down with the bongo board commercial.
Yes, I almost followed you.
Yes, and see, that's the danger.
Then we
That's the
both
danger.
would have been on bongos, and then how?
I think standards and practices would have been giving me a little ring on the deli on Monday morning, as they say. Well, I do want to say, Geraldine, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on the program. But before we let you go, there's a few items that you didn't bring with you. Is that because they're too dangerous?
Well, some are too dangerous. You don't even know the meaning of the words "too."
Depends on the meaning of the word "too." I mean, like TOO. Well,
Yes.
okay. Let me give you a for instance. How about the ideal doll? What is it, Strawn? What is it?
Oh, you talking about the Bayou Baby dolls, a fine product from Ideal Toys.
That is too dangerous.
Too dangerous.
I wouldn't even write about that. What else do you have?
Okay, sure. The next one is the 50 cal machine gun emplacement, life size 50 cal machine gun emplacement. Is that?
I love this gun. This is so much fun, but it's so dangerous. So you can't have it. It doesn't matter how much fun it is. It's too dangerous.
Is it actually, because it's a machine gun emplacement playset, is it actually a 50 cal? Is it just pretty much not so much a toy, it's just a 50 cal that's being marketed to kids?
Don't know how to answer that, my friend.
Okay, we'll move on.
This is a 50 count.
The last item is the radioactive brain. I noticed you didn't bring the radioactive brain, which was a surprise seller this season.
And this brain, you plant it as a seed. And it grows.
Oh.
Just like sea monkeys or an ant farm. And then it gets too big. And it takes over all the technology in your home. It's very dangerous. I
Seems
can't
like
say
it's
anything
too
more.
smart for kids.
People, yo,
Too smart
that
for
is.
us.
Yeah, that's what the experts are saying. It's just too intelligent of a toy. Some
Too
argue too
intelligent.
intelligent to be a toy.
Very dangerous, Otto. Some of these toys are absolutely fun. This brain, put out by Abnormal Brain Company. Too dangerous.
There's a brain company. That's something for us to ponder over this next commercial break. Geraldine Ford, thank you so much for being on the program.
My pleasure.
And it was our pleasure having you. And folks, I want you to take this to heart. Take what she said about each and every one of these products to heart, because before you let them in your home, we want to make sure that they are safe for you and yours.
Someone go to commercial, please.
Get down, get down. I am in the jungles with Geraldine. That's what we'll call this segment, Jungles with Geraldine. Look, there's some bad guys there.
Commercial.
Oh, that was strong. That was strong.
Here comes
Oh
David
no.
Ortega.
I'm gonna shoot both their eyes out with the I'm gonna shoot both their eyes out with the M213 MK2 APC.
Yes, grab the M213 M2KPC.
Casper, are we still on?
This hurts worse than the Christmas spirit.
I just let it run.
Vault Tech presents Growing Up. You're growing up. And other things are changing too. You know what that means. Pip-Boy 3000. Part of your life. With Pip-Boy, all life's answers are in sight.
Pip-Boy 3000, part of your life. Pip-Boy 3000, part of your life. With Pip-Boy, all life's answers are in sight. That's right.
When you're looking for delicious food at a reasonable price, look no further than Reggie Smokes Bistro. Hi, I'm Miles Upshore, and fuck me, that guy's got a gun.
Come back here, you son of a bitch. You owe me money.
I bet he does. Get his wallet. Hey, I'm Reggie Smokes, owner of Reggie Smokes Bistro. Why do we call it a bistro? Who the fuck cares? We got hot food and cold drinks. You ain't never had food like this before. Shut up. No, you haven't. Anyway, how many deli joints have you known that got a cock petting zoo around the side? None. We had it in the bathrooms, but some kids were crying, police got involved. Yeah, anyway. When you poke your head into Reggie Smokes, you're not just signing on to some mouthwater and mush. We've got that shit in spades. You also got some wicked pisser atmosphere. You like good times? I am good times. My fucking life is good times. And you can piggyback off that by checking out our happy hour experience. We've got rides, we've got games, fun for the family, and we've got dames. Beef, hog, chicken, fish, what's your dish? Whatever it is, you ain't gonna find some shithole named after Joe. Nope, not Slocum's Joe. That shit'll kill you faster than a Joe Spunky's meatball. Trust me, I know. Stay away from those guys. Come to your favorite food establishment in the least favorite part of town today and tell them Reggie sent you. It's gonna be one hell of a name drop. I make their paychecks. And do yourself a favor. Pay a visit to us between 3 and noon, Monday through Friday, for our Ballbuster brunch special. All sorts of shit for $65.95. So get your ass down here to Reggie Smokes Bistro, where we always say, no shirt,
no shoes,
no pants.
Food.
Mega Evolvatron is a robot designed beyond the scope of a mere toy store novelty. It learns from our successes and failures. The armies of the world cannot fathom nor endure this cutting-edge robot. with its patented tactical technology servos, and he is yours to command. But Mega Evolvatron will also make split-second determinations based on ever-evolving battlefield conditions.
Forward.
Watch as he trains himself, maturing from a voice-activated toy to a household decision-maker.
Left. Fire.
Order your Mega Evolvatron today, and we'll include a dozen bonus 30-grain blaster charges at no additional cost. Find Mega Evolvatron at your local toy retailer. Thank you, folks, and we're back. So, how about that, Strawn? You like that toy collection?
I've got my own toys. Those seem a little too advanced for me.
Well, I gotta say, Miss Ford's got all the toys. It was just an absolute pleasure having her on the show. I hope she come. She what now?
If you say so.
You did not like Geraldine Ford? Was that her name? That was her name.
I'm pretty sure her name was Fjord. You've just been mispronouncing it.
I've been butchering it.
I just let you do it because it brings me personal pleasure.
Oh, okay.
I thought that's what the toys were for.
There he is. Rob, how are you? Folks, of course, I'd like to introduce RPJacks to our show. He is our guest this evening, as I alluded to earlier. But yeah, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Thanks for inviting me along.
What do you think of this theater? I mean, it's not the Dainty Taint, and it doesn't float, but...
Hey, you know, it's got a charm all its own. Nice, intimate environment.
Quick Smoke told me it smelled like, what did he say? Shame and plastic. Any thoughts on that? Do you smell shame?
Vaseline, plastic, and shame. Yes, I've encountered all three, but not necessarily in one place.
So this is a first for you. So, well, I guess, so you've been well?
I have. It's been a fairly decent holiday season.
Good. I'm glad to hear it. How was your New Year's?
It was excellent. The whole family was together. We ushered in the new year and set fire to everything we had left that said 2020 on it, so that hopefully that'll be in the past.
No doubt. It has been a shit year, that's for sure. Have you had any exposure or have you been exposed to Mr. Strontium before? I'd like to introduce you.
Only through my TV screen.
Well, I hope you're wearing gloves.
No, I dipped myself in hand sanitizer before I came out here.
I did something similar, but I made sure the hand sanitizer went inside me.
I don't want to pursue that line of conversation any further, so instead, I'm going to say, how long have you been doing YouTube, Rob? What brought you to it, and when did your channel start?
Ironically, I started the channel to share a video of me talking about some random event over 12 years ago. A friend of mine looked at me while I was talking about the event, and he said, "You know what? You know more about this than 9 people I know. You should do a video, and I can share it around." And I did, and then the channel sat unused for 8 years. I had no drive to be a YouTuber. It wasn't exciting or something that I even thought of as a regular thing. And then one day I was looking at my PlayStation and saying, you know what? I have these games here that I've never played. And I had no idea what the storyline was for any of them. So I just started looking up stuff on YouTube, and I realized that, hey, wait a minute, these people are doing the same thing I am.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
could record this.
Right. I can remember growing up, like, well, not even just growing up, even as a bachelor, buddies coming over and I'd play a game and they would just sit on the couch and watch, or you could flip that scenario around. I'd go to their place and just sit there and watch them play a game. And so I guess that's the miracle of a platform like YouTube or whatever. That's the good part.
Yeah, it lets us hang out together in our t-shirts playing video games without having to actually go anywhere.
Right. I guess that could lead us into the next question, which over the last over the last few years, what would you say was was a failure? Well, what game jumps out at you in terms of I'm not necessarily happy I played that?
It's a tie right now. Fallout 76 didn't grab my attention the way I thought it would. I have a very similar viewpoint of it that some other people have mentioned online already. That it's like a mobile game with a Fallout theme. It's not like a Fallout game to me.
Yeah, I hear that complaint. 95% of our audience, this is what Quicksmoke said, sympathizes with your with your story.
And yeah, but tied for that would have to be Grounded. I another previous guest of yours, Di, and I were playing Grounded for had to be 2 months, 2.5 months, and they did an update. And when we logged in, my character dropped through the ground and was trapped. I could see off in the distance die up on the ground, and there was nowhere for me to go. I was down in the middle of nowhere.
Shots fired against Grounded. I don't think Grounded saw that coming, so you scored a direct hit. Because honestly, yeah, I do. I agree. Nobody plays it either anymore, and it must be because of updates like you mentioned.
Yeah, it was actually by the time we finished that day, and I mean, we spent about an hour trying to figure out something to do to get around it. The save file that had all the work that I had gotten done with her was gone. It
Screw that,
overrode
yeah.
it, and I was relegated to either being underground or a brand new character, which of course at that point the opponents that the yard was throwing at us were far too vicious for a newbie. So we decided to drop that game, and I haven't thought about playing it since, because every time I look at the updates, they just, there's more and more complaints about more things that are broken.
Ouch. Yeah. Well, I haven't touched it for a while. That doesn't really give me incentive to. Strawn, did you have a least favorite game?
I don't think you should ask me that question, Otto.
Okay, that's true. We are in a time budget, I guess, but
The answer is Fallout 4.
Oh my! Look what you've done. Look what
Bigger
you've done.
shots fired.
Yeah. Grounded's just gone under, and now Fallout 4 is taking fire of all things. So in terms of your channel, what I see you play, well, of course, Fallout 4, the bane of Strawn's existence, perhaps.
Gasp.
Let's see. World of Tanks, so like WOT, SOT, and WOW, but not World of Warcraft, but World of
World of
Warships.
Warships. Yeah.
What about
Yeah.
World of Tanks? Because it's been a while. What's your favorite line in terms of nationality?
Yeah, I'm a big German tank guy.
Sure.
The initial game was set up with a majority of just World War II vehicles, early war and mid-war vehicles,
Yeah.
and it slowly expanded into post-war period. But it was the lines that you could follow were American tanks, German tanks, or Russian tanks. And yeah, I had grown up reading about all the different German tanks over the years, and because of course, in my youth, whenever people talked about armored vehicles, it was about World War II German
Sure.
armor.
Absolutely. Rommel and the
And
Panzers and
yeah,
Blitzkrieg and
the Africa Corps, the steppes of Russia. It was I wanted nothing but to play Germans, and then after probably the first year of playing, I expanded into the other lines because I started running into people who were far better than me in the upper tiers, and it didn't matter that I had what I considered to be a superior vehicle because I was terrible at the game.
I feel you
So,
there.
So I retreated to the lower tiers where I could take advantage of my knowledge of how the game mechanics worked in lower tier vehicles, and it in the lower tiers you have far more newbie players.
Yeah, yeah, it's kind of nice.
And of
It
course,
allows you to exercise your experience against
those of us who have been
Seal
playing for a
clubbing.
while. Yeah, we call it seal clubbing, and I'm not
Oh
ashamed to
my.
admit that I've clubbed a fair number of seals.
This is metaphorical, folks.
Or are you Canadian and you're not
Oh,
telling us?
look at that. The seal portion of our audience just walked out. There
They'll
has
come
to be
back.
Yeah,
They'll
that's
come
true.
back.
Just toss a few beach
They're just
balls
queuing
around.
up
They'll
for the
be
next.
back.
They're just
It won't be
queuing up
hard
for the
to get
next
'em
round.
back. This place smells
Yeah.
like bad fish.
So we'll add that to the list. Bad fish. World of Warships. What? So destroyers are your preference in that?
No. Actually, I'm terrible at destroyers. I'm fairly confident cruiser commander.
Oh, okay. Had my notes were wrong on that. Damn it. Someone's
Sorry,
getting fired.
sir.
Yeah. Okay. No problem. No
Wayne?
problem.
Who told you to talk?
Yeah.
I felt an apology was warranted.
He prefers a cruiser, guys. Get your shit together. Sorry about that,
Okay.
Rob. Is it so? I haven't played World of Warships. Comparable to World of Tanks? What are there any glaring differences? Obviously, ships. But...
Well, yeah. It's the water's a lot deeper.
Right.
So your vehicle has to be made so it floats instead of rides on the bottom. The basic mechanics are essentially the same. You steer your ship, you accelerate, you decelerate, you aim with a separate in this case use the mouse to aim at where you want to be pointing, and the turrets track your center point, but they have rotation times which tends to be far slower than like a tank would. And of course, your ranges are far longer than tanks would engage at. But it can be a quite challenging game if you're trying to come up with the tactics appropriate for both the map you're on and the opponents that you're playing against. and I've discovered that in World of Tanks, making one mistake, you almost instantly regret it, and you're usually, bombing out of that game and heading into the next armored vehicle to play again. Meanwhile, in World of Warships, you can make a mistake and you're not hung out to dry too bad, because all you got to do is pay attention to what mistakes the other side are making
I
and take
see. Yeah.
advantage of those.
Which
It's a
would
little
you
more
say is
forgiving.
which? So which would you say is more frustrating? I got frustrated with World of Tanks. I'm not gonna lie, but
World of Tanks can definitely be the one that's frustrating. Both games have a mechanic where you can alert your team that you want everybody to shoot at target A, and somehow it seems like I draw a lot of fire in World of Tanks, whereas in World of Warships, especially because my preference is for cruisers, which they're not the biggest guns and they're not the fastest ships. They don't tend to get singled out unless you're the only target, in which case you done messed up.
yeah, I would say that's a problem. So okay, yeah. So before we move on, one last time, it is cruisers, right?
Yeah, cruisers.
Yeah, yeah. Caspa, can you make sure everybody up there in the booth knows it is cruisers?
Cruisers it is.
Cruisers.
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 So Rob, you say it's cruisers then?
Dwayne, remember it's cruisers.
Cruisers.
Okay. In terms of let's see. Well, Fallout 4, you're building. Are you building every Saturday other than building offline?
Every Saturday, yeah. I actually stopped building offline.
Oh, nice.
I had been doing complete builds and then recording a walkthrough. That's how I started my channel. Restarted my channel. But the community is absolutely super supportive, and they come up with great ideas. So I like getting on Saturday afternoon, and within a few minutes of the start of the stream, I'll have 3 or 4 people in there, and I'll be like, okay, after we watch Rob fall off the ladder a few times, let's see what we can do with this part of the build. And all of a sudden, I'll have 4 or 5, 10 suggestions about this or that, and I start building, and it works in my favor.
Yeah, there's something to be said for that. It is nice. It's nice having this community and the feedback.
Compared to some online communities, some of them are just downright toxic. This is
Well, that's what I'm here for.
Yeah, we can get all our toxicity rather from Strawn. That would suit just fine, I think.
I supply the whole community. I'm like the milkman.
Well, I think you're only people only know of Strawn because there aren't toxic people in our community. So it's almost like filling that deficit, so that works. But
Nature hates a vacuum.
Yeah.
What?
If there's only going to be one, it's got to be a deep well.
What does this is true. This is so true.
My well is very deep.
What can you say about your community without being too disparaging?
About my community?
Yes, you have a community. You have people that show up regularly to watch. You know that some of the same people have been, so that's
yeah. I couldn't disparage them if I tried. They're friendly.
Apologies.
They're friendly. They're attentive, and when they do make suggestions, they make suggestions. They don't tell me to do something and then get irritated at me for not doing it.
Yeah.
And that's something that is far more appreciated than most people would realize.
No doubt there, no doubt. And I mean, you do have regulars. You mentioned restarting. Did you post stuff for a while and then stop?
I did. Like I said, the PlayStation was where I started I created my first Fallout videos on the PlayStation, and I took a break for about 3 months after I posted. I want to say it was 10 builds walkthroughs that I had done, and I had, in the meantime, I had purchased the PC version of the game so I could actually take advantage of some of the more extreme mods. And when I came back in, instead of doing just walkthrough videos, I decided I was going to be doing the build videos live. And in that 2.5 or 3 month break, I grabbed a character from right from the start, and I ran her through as a railroad agent. And I had my head canon with all the background story that how she ended up
Absolutely.
where she was, and
Yeah.
and now she's rebuilding the Commonwealth. Now that the main storyline has been completed, she's taken it on herself to restore humanity.
Which I think is much needed. Well, isn't the Brotherhood supposed to bring humanity? I mean, haven't they strayed from their core
No,
principles?
I thought their goal was just to hoard all the technology so another Great War wouldn't happen.
Well, this is my Brotherhood too, but
Well, unless they started.
Perhaps the problem is that it's my Brotherhood. Like, they shouldn't let me in. I mean, they seem like zealots in the early games, but then next thing you know, they're like, "Want to join up?" So let's see. In terms of Sea of Thieves, what can we say about Sea of Thieves? What is your rank on Dai's ship?
I am the first mate.
And she would confirm that?
Oh, definitely.
Good deal. Good deal.
Di and I are the game was made for us. We're thick like thieves.
Excellent. They now you've been sailing with her for a while. Of course, we've sailed together as well. On when you're sailing with me, of course, you know that you get 13 slaps on the wrist every time I catch you peeking at the ladies through the windows or stealing some rum or whatever. How does Lady Di punish her crewmates? Maybe not specifically you, but have you ever witnessed her punishing, like, say, like a young sturdy automatic or something there on her ship, and thought, boy, I should report this?
No. I think her punishments are appropriate, if not a little too lenient.
Well, you are definitely a first officer, aren't you? Okay, let's move on from all that. I do gotta ask, because I ask everybody this: what pisses people off about Rob?
It's got to be my bluntness. I don't have time for BS in my life. I'll use the example that, and I want to point out that my ex-wife and I are still great friends, but I remember getting ready to go somewhere one night, and she looked at me and said, "Do these pants make my butt look big?" And I said, "No, your butt makes your butt look big. Pants just make it more obvious."
The savagery.
And you said this is your ex-wife?
Yeah, we were happily married at the time and continued the happy marriage at the time. So that wasn't even a reason for us to separate. So
nice. Okay. Yeah. No. That's a rather common answer. We got a lot of blunt people in our community.
People don't like being told the truth.
That's true. That's true. A lot of people would be ignorantly comfortable And it is comfortable not knowing sometimes, but those that lack the desire to know, those are the people that freak me out. What about, so what pisses you off? Anything that just sets you off?
People who lie to me.
Yeah.
It's yeah. I don't care if I like your answer. If it's the truth, it's the truth. Yeah, it's not. It might not be what I wanted to hear, but it's not going to crush me to hear the truth. You lie to me. First of all, I'm likely to find out because I don't drop subjects. So yeah, I'll go look things up.
Right.
And unfortunately for the majority of people, nobody's really a good liar.
That is
Everybody,
true.
eventually they forget what lies they've told to who.
That's why I keep a notebook.
This is extensive. It's
It
one of
would
those
help
one
a
of those
lot of
mead
people.
binders. You know, I mean, especially in the age of the internet, it's I don't know.
Yeah, you can't hack paper.
Right, this is true. Yeah, have you met plenty of bullshitters over the years?
Oh yeah, yeah. I spent 18 years in the army.
There you go. Thank you for your service and for putting up with some bullshitters to boot.
Indeed.
Where did your service take you? If that's not too much to ask.
Well, I had the opportunity to travel all over the United States. I had a overseas tour, combat tour in Iraq in 2005, so just 2 years after the invasion in Iraq. I visited both Wiesbaden, Germany, and Shannon, Ireland. Shannon was
Nice.
far too short of a visit, 24 hours. I really, really loved that place. The thing is, the Irish and the green is all linked together, but you've never seen green until you've seen the Irish countryside.
That's awesome. No. Are you Irish and German?
I am. I'm Scotch, Irish, and German.
Okay, Scotch in there. Just because when you said Germany and Ireland, I mean, I'm Irish and German, so it's always like, well, I'd like to see those at some point. Yeah, what is up with all of us Irish Germans? We're everywhere.
Well, 50% of the United States has some kind of German background in their genealogy.
Do we all suffer this thing where the German side really is really hard on the Irish side?
I don't have red hair.
That's an internal struggle for me.
Yeah, well, like I said, I'm Scotch, Irish, and German, so I'm a two-fisted drinker with delusions of world domination.
Exactly. That's so. I mean, of all the places you went, would you say Ireland? Because I was going to ask, what is the one place that you've been to that you think back on most fondly?
Definitely Ireland.
Yeah.
I could happily buy a home in the Irish countryside and live out my days there.
Does it rain a lot there?
Not the day I was there.
Nice, nice.
I imagine it does. The rain in the British Isles and Ireland, the rain is fairly constant.
Is it? Okay. I knew it had that stereotype, as much as like Washington State, or maybe that's just Seattle. I don't know.
No, most coastal areas in the United States encounter rain. I think Southern California is the exception.
Okay, it all makes sense to me now. Because I had never considered that, just being off the coast. But I'm a landlubber. Speaking of which, where are you? You're in the South, right? Is it?
I am now. Yes, I am a Texas resident. I can't really call myself a Texan because I wasn't born here. But
you're a carpetbagger.
They welcomed me though.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
They have a fond place in their hearts for veterans here. So.
Oh yeah, this is true. Texas definitely does. What would you say are your passions? I know that sounds such like a cliche kind of question, but
Well, for a long time it was model building.
oh yeah,
From tanks and airplanes when I was in high school to I started collecting Warhammer and Warhammer 40K figs and building and painting those, and then well, in the last few years the arthritis has gotten to the point in my hands that it's difficult for me to spend more than an hour painting, and you don't get much done in an hour with detailed work, so I do it less often now, and I'm more into the computer games now. But I could definitely do, if I could get rid of the pain in the hands, I would definitely go back and do more painting on my figs.
so you hit up a lot of like hobby. God, what was it called? Hobbyland, and I mean, you go to a lot of
Hobby Lobby.
yeah.
Growing up, we had our I grew up on Long Island outside New York City. We had a hobby store in our little town that if I walked in and didn't see something I wanted, that they would let me look through their catalog and order models directly from it.
Nice.
So it was a great place, and of course, I'm past the half century mark, so it was a lot of years ago.
But I can relate in a way. I know that there were little. I don't know what we'd almost want to refer to them as Dungeons and Dragons shops because that's what we did there primarily. But certainly they had models and they had those little less than an inch tall like Napoleonic army figures. I think by a company called IPEX. We used to buy boxes of those. I think they had World War One, World War Two, all that stuff.
Yeah, the place that we went to, they actually sold you the molds so you could make your own out of lead.
Holy shit! Nice.
Hey, it's a wonder material.
Lead.
Hey, it's not only good for making toys with; they taste good when you're done.
We do not advocate eating your lead painted toys.
Oh no, don't eat them. Just chew on them a little bit. Get that sweet taste into your mouth.
It's good for the teeth.
Paintbrush.
Straight to the source. Well, gosh, I think that is about all we have. Though I have to ask you, are you willing to take an automated test? Which will be
certainly.
It's a rapid fire lightning round. So some of these questions may be absurd, so feel free to abstain from any of them. In essence, you are the arena. I don't even want to say manager because you get to decide who wins these contests. Most of these are contests. First question: who would win? Who should win? I should say, Bush, Clinton, or Perot?
Perot.
Perot. Interesting. How about between Heathcliff and Garfield?
Garfield, without a doubt.
Huh. Which war of the 19th, no, that'd be the 20th century, the 1900s, had the best soundtrack?
Oh, World War II.
World War II? You didn't go Vietnam. I'm surprised.
No, I like the oldies.
Strawn was mentioning World War One.
Hey, it's a long way to Tipperary as a straight banger.
But they still sang that in World War II, didn't they?
They did.
A bunch of posers. That's what they were.
Posers. They were posers.
And of
Dude,
course,
that's
World War II had the Andrews sisters, so I listened
well.
to them sing to me all night.
I would have liked to have slept with 2 out of 3 of those sisters.
Oh boy! Now I want to see the third one so desperately. I wonder, can we put her up on screen, Caspa?
Yep. We're on it.
Knew the world would not be the same.
The hell was that? That wasn't her. Okay, that was.
I think that was Ethel Merman.
I think it was. Was it Dr. Oppenheimer? Was he a doctor?
Silent.
Probably a doctor of education.
Okay, well, that was bizarre. Thank you up there. I think the robot did that. Caspa, what's up with the robot? How's it doing?
He's doing well. He's doing what I told him to do.
Rob, we got ourselves a Mr. Handy.
Oh, good.
He has a name.
I'm sorry. What's his name? Wentworth. Wentworth is his name.
A.G. Wentworth.
A.G. or J.G.? Oh, J.G. Wentworth. J.G. Wentworth.
Yes,
yep.
J.G.
It's my money and I want it now. It was a good
Jesus.
That's okay. Now
call it Westinghouse.
We got off track on our in anticipation of him choosing Vietnam. The next question was M16 or AK-47?
M16.
Vietnam era M16?
Doesn't matter
okay?
which one. Doesn't matter which one. There's far superior weapon.
Nice. This is probably the most controversial question. Coke or Pepsi?
Coke.
Noted. Schwarzenegger. Yeah. You. Damn you. Coke drinkers. Schwarzenegger versus Stallone.
That's a tough one because they both did such good work. But I'm going to go with Arnie.
Schwarzenegger it is. Is Joe Camel dead or was he murdered?
Joe Camel did not kill himself.
That's a very controversial opinion to have.
It is. We're always looking out for the algorithm, or rather the algorithm's always looking out for us. How about this battle? Alexander the Great with the army he had at his time, in his prime, I should say, versus Stormin' Norman Schwarzkopf with the army he had at his prime.
You want me to compare a guy with a sword on horseback to a man who commanded artillery and armored units?
Hey, they say Alexander was a genius.
They also said he was a god. They never said that about Stormin' Norman.
I just want to have the opportunity.
You never fought with Stormin' Norman.
No, I wouldn't have wanted to. He would have kicked my ass.
And you did. So here's the problem. I think there's some bias here. Yeah. I think otherwise it would be a perfectly fair fight, right? I mean,
I think you're inviting Alexander to become a very genius red smear in the desert.
I will have to
more glorious
concede.
than what happened to him.
King Kong versus Godzilla with the armies they had in their prime.
That's gotta be Godzilla.
Godzilla, I think so too. The breathing fire, and King Kong having the fur. What about Bugs versus Mickey? And not Mickey Rooney and Bugs Seagull. You said Bugs.
Yeah, Bugs.
It's the obvious choice.
These editorials, How about, okay, here's a controversial one. Because we support both. Let's just get that. I mean, I don't mean to speak for Rob, but we support both. But here is it's a classic face-off. Smokies versus Truckers. Cherry Tops versus Gear Jammers. County Mounties versus Long Haulers.
Is that you, Rubber Duck?
Uh-oh. It sounds like you're with the long haulers. I mean,
Yeehaw.
you know, they're going to burst through the roadblocks. The cops are
Yeah.
definitely going to put up a roadblock or two.
Once they start a convoy, they won't be able to stop them.
I think that's true. But then when the helicopter shows up, well, I mean, what does it matter? You're going to track the semis anyways. You're not going to lose them.
It would be hard to misplace a 18-wheeler.
This is true, right? So
I'd
yeah,
throw all my yellow jackets at the helicopter and hope for the best.
I just get on the CB and call for more truckers. What about Microsoft versus Apple?
The two evil empires.
Uh-huh. Of like mind there.
I think I'm going to have to, if I have to choose one or the other, I'm going to have to choose Microsoft.
Alrighty. Risk versus Axis and Allies.
Well, Risk is the classic. So it's got a strong place in my heart. So I'm going to go with Risk.
Risk it is. Rowdy Roddy Piper versus Macho Man Randy Savage.
Ooh. I'm going to go with Macho Man, despite my strong Scottish heritage. I don't think Roddy's got it over Macho Man.
I think you're probably right. Here's a classic question: Who is Batman?
I'm Batman.
He said,
"We were not expecting that."
No, we were not expecting that answer.
Someone get this man a Snickers.
God, I'm hoping. Let's see if he repeats his answer for the next two questions. Who is Superman?
I don't know, but you should ask that Clark Kent guy. He seems to know a lot about him.
Clark Kent. Deeper question: Who is James Bond?
I don't think there's any doubt about who's James Bond. That's Sean Connery.
That's a good answer. Slinky or Silly Putty?
It's Slinky.
I think so too. Slinky's break. Then again, I lost my Silly Putty.
It goes downstairs alone or in pairs.
Well, I think this brings us to our final question. No, it doesn't. Our second from last question.
It was a fake out.
Yeah, that was a classic fake out. I think Rob anticipated it. Son of a. Yes, classic matchup. Geraldo Rivera, Jerry Springer, Maury Povich, Phil Donahue, or Sally Jesse Raphael. Oprah is not an option because she destroyed all of them years ago.
In his prime, Phil Donahue would wipe the floor with the rest of them.
I think you're right. He did have gravitas early on. Plane, train, or automobile? I want to ask, what is your favorite automobile?
Most people have some exotic car that they could never find or afford. I just want the first car I ever had. It was a 1975 AMC Matador.
AMC Matador. 75. Wow. What color was it?
Aztec red.
Nice. What is your favorite plane? If you could own one, or pilot one anyway.
I would have to say the Lightning.
The World War II.
World War II.
Nice.
Twin boom.
Was Lightning? I'm gonna sound like an ass here. Was it a British plane? No.
No, it was a U.S. plane.
Wasn't that the one Howard Hughes crashed into the golf course, or a plane similar to it?
No, Hughes crashed one of his planes into the golf course. The Lightning was the one that.
Is it the P-51?
No, that's the Mustang.
No, the Lightning's the one where it's the cockpit is suspended between the two engines and they're connected by
Yeah.
a wing and a tail fin.
Oh, yeah.
Correct. And it was Lindbergh was a huge proponent of it, and he actually went to the South Pacific to where pilots were complaining about having difficulty in fighting the Japanese in their Lightnings. And after spending a couple of weeks giving them instruction on the ground, and he was forbidden from flying because he was a national hero and they didn't want him shot down, he went and took a plane in the air anyway and shot down a Japanese fighter and showed everybody what he was talking about.
Just to show them you could. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome. This is where this question gets tricky. What about train? What's your favorite train? And Soul Train is a valid answer.
Well, then Soul Train it is.
Son of a bitch. The correct answer, though, would have been Edward, Thomas's friend, because the series was supposed to be about Edward, but then everyone thought Thomas was adorable.
Yeah, move on.
You've taken that very personally, Otto.
You're right. You're right. I should see somebody about that.
Or you could write a letter to Sir Topham Hatt. I'm sure he'd care about as much as I do.
He said Sir Topham Hatt. Well, folks, I want everybody to thank Rob for coming on, and I am chief among them. Rob, thank you so much for taking the time to just talk with us for a little bit.
I'm happy to be here, Otto. Thanks for inviting me out.
It was my pleasure. It was my pleasure, man, and I hope to talk to you again very soon.
Me as well. Nice meeting you, Mr. Strontium.
It was acceptable for me to meet you as well.
I think the word you're looking for is exceptional.
All right, your words, not mine.
So next up, we've got, well, it looks like an artist by the name of Judy Moonlight.
No, that's the song title, Otto. His name's
okay. So next up, we're going to have an artist that's going to play a song titled Judy Moonlight. Fair and North. Thank you, Sean. Sorry. Fair and North after the break. Stay with us.
Or don't.
One of my favorite fantasies is talking to strangers on the phone about their fantasies and doing my hair. But I'm not the only one. We've got all the hottest girls from the Commonwealth just waiting to talk to you. Look, here's some of them now. Here's Jenny. She likes talking about her makeup and her hair. And she likes talking about what she's writing down in her journal. She's writing your fantasies down in her journal right now. She's gonna charge your credit card. Look at her go. And then she's gonna pass on the information to the girl sitting next to her. So hot. So you should call now. The number is 1-900-HOT-GALS. That's with an ALS. Like all-time lovin' sex. Or like America loves sex. Or alternative lifestyle. Or like, I'm not really sure what it stands for, but you can come up with your own ideas. So call now. Let's talk about our fantasies on Fantasy Phone.
Must be 18 or older to call. Standard and international rates apply. Fantasy Phone is not responsible for separation or divorce. 1-900-HOT-GALS neither implies hot nor gals.
Look there. Is it sliding towards us? No. No, it's floating. It's floating through space, time, and now it's floating through your housework. The vacuum suck dust star floats. It doesn't slide. There. This floats on air, so what are you waiting for? Get your all-new Vacuum Suck Dust Off 5000. Available at any Vacuum Suck retailer nationwide for $98,000, that is. In the summer of 1876, Lieutenant Colonel George Armstrong Custer learned a valuable lesson. The lesson? Don't piss off the Indians. And the white man continues to do it today. Don't think that gives you a pass, black men or Latinos. No, we're all polluting this beautiful country. We risk pissing off the Indians. Take this man, for instance. He's no chief, as he's only got the one feather. But he's nonetheless wizened, and he appears seasoned, if not a little discouraged. Well, now he's just pissed off. Don't piss off the Indians. Keep America clean.
Write to P.O. Box 7871, Radio City Station, New York, New York, 10019. For this brochure, 71 things you can do to stop pollution, including scalping polluters. This message brought to you by the Ad Council on Pissed Off Native Americans.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're back. Thanks for sticking with us. You know, I can't express enough what a pleasure it was having RPJacks on the program. You know, I enjoy Rob's content. Moreover, I enjoy his company. He's a good conversationalist and a good guy to boot. That said, I encourage everybody to head over to his channel and check it out. You can trust that you'll be more than welcome, and trust me when I say you won't regret it. Now, there may be some of you wondering how you can be a guest on the program, and I would say the easiest answer is to get a hold of me via Discord. That said, we are, and this is good news, we are booked up through our finale. We have a guest for every show for the first season. So that is awesome, and I am very grateful to everybody that's appeared already or has reserved a spot. I really am. But don't let that dissuade you. If you want to be a guest, let me know via Discord. We'll get you into that second season. And say you don't want to be a guest, but you still want to contribute. We are looking for contributors for, say, skits or commercials. Let me know. We'll talk about it. Now, on to this next act. Let's see, how did I first become aware of Fair North? Well, that would be courtesy of Mr. Strontium. But I have since come to learn that Senator Lindsey Graham likes him nothing more than some Fair North. More specifically, he enjoys the number Judy Moonlight. And so, I present to you, for your consideration, Fair North with his hit, Judy Moonlight.
Spent a lot of time down the trail looking for something. Found a lot of wolves in the wood looking for me. And your light breaking through my window fell upon the scars and hardened hands and secrets that I didn't know I'd hidden. Quenching the thirst I had shining through my window, giving me the strength to climb the last, and the reason my world's gonna keep on spinning. Judy, you were meant to be only with me. La, 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 la. Judy, you were born in the light. Judy, you were meant to be only with me. La, 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 la. Judy, you were born in the light. Judy, you were meant to be only with me. La, 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 la. Judy, you were born in the light. Judy, you were meant to be only with me. La, 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 la. Judy, you were born in the light. Judy, you were meant to be only with me. La, 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 la. Judy, you were born in the light. Judy, you were meant to be only with me. La, 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 la.
Judy, you're made to be only with me. La, da, da. Yes, welcome back, folks. How about that? How about Judy? Boy, dear, Farron North. Wonderful stuff. I'm so enthusiastic about it. Strawn, you suggested that band. Can I say that?
Well, I don't want to be incriminated here.
La da da da.
Judy, you were born. Damn it. I tell you, I'm going to be hearing that in my sleep tonight. And that's going to be a refreshing change from the screaming I usually hear.
I'd almost take the screaming. But again, look for it. Look it up yourself. Farron North with Judy Moonlight. It does, as you alluded to, have that 70s feel to it. But give us that piece of trivia. It's not a 70s song.
No, it was released in the last couple of years.
That is crazy. It's very eclectic. But hey, so am I. La da da da. Strawn, what did you think of tonight's monologue?
To be honest, I dozed off. I
didn't even hear it.
I was one of the lucky ones.
Well, I gotta say, Wentworth or whatever, he's doing a heck of a job. I'm afraid he's gonna put people out of work, unfortunately. Anyways, folks, I want to thank you for tuning in for tonight's program. I especially want to thank Geraldine Fjord, who, of course, brought her various sex her toys to the show tonight to show us the dangers. Her sexy toys, that's what they were. Especially that Tommy gun. That was something else. And of course, RPJacks, Rob, for being on the program. And with, Farron North, sorry, the name almost escaped me again. Judy Moonlight.
It doesn't matter. I don't think he actually exists.
Okay, good. Well, he is absolutely irresistible. Whether he exists or not. Folks, tune in next week where we will have a guest in the title and a musical performance in the description. Until then, I am Automatic. Thanks for tuning in, and good night. Judy, you were made to be only with me. La, da, da, da.
Folks, we have reached the end of our broadcast day for Friday, October 22nd, 2077, here at OMG Television Studios, Boston. We sincerely thank you for tuning in and hope that you will join us again tomorrow. And now, our national anthem.